No introduction. The host of Spotlight, the host of All American, and man about town for the World Wrestling Federation, my friend, Gene Okerlund. No introduction. The host of Spotlight, the host of All American, and man about town for the World Wrestling Federation.
Be a nice guy, not going to insult.
Who's this? The host of All American.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. I've always wanted to do that. I'm sorry.
I've got more serious things on my mind to concern myself with than you.
You're laughing about this, man? You look like the doorman at the plaza, and you're laughing at mine.
Yeah, you look like a boomerang salesman, out of words.
You're looking for something from me? Forget it, pal. You still owe me $500 from the Denver game.
What Denver game was that?
You remember at the Denver game that we bet on? Please welcome my guest this week. He is accompanied by his manager, Paul Bear. Ladies and gentlemen, The Undertaker.
Oh, Mr. Okerlund.
Hulkster, we got it.
Mean Gene. Woo! My God! Woo! My God! Gene! Woo!
Now, you use a ball to play cricket, is that correct?
That's correct. Very informative.
So if you thought you missed out on it, you've got one more chance. You can join us next Sunday, April 4th. I am talking about Macho Madness and Hulkamania, two mega powers meeting here tonight. Hulk Hogan, what is happening?
Well, you know, Mean Gene, we really don't know what we're dealing with here, man.
The Ultimate Warrior. Damn it, who put that up? I thank you very much.
A man who really needs no introduction, the host of Spotlight, the host of All.
All right. Hello, wrestling fans from all over the world. We've got one viewer tonight. It's the mailman, Jimmy Milstead, live from the studio, the Wrestling Cave. And it's January 17th, 2019. And this is our episode 38 of the small package. I'd like to welcome you to it. And we're going to present our 2018 best of our MILYs, our MILY Awards. It's been long overdue. I'd like to thank George Strait for bringing us in, by the way. But I hope everything is finding you well. And a Happy New Year to you as we are in 2019. I just have to find my our production still something less to be desired, as I have to find I need a soundboard guy. That's I have so many hats here. If I can find, there we go. Jimmy the Mailman Milstead here. I'm sorry. Bringing you episode 38 of the small package. It's our 2018 MILY Awards. As we are already in 2019, Christmas was so busy at work. I've got the England guys overseas and my buddy Mark Wood. He can't join us tonight. It's just been a rough start to 2019 as far as putting together our wrestling shows. But we will have our NXT prediction show next week for NXT TakeOver Arizona. I'm very looking forward to that, even though I still personally have to catch up on some episodes. It has been a busy year. Wrestling is just everywhere. And I used to be able to watch everything on time, but man, I don't know. Life has thrown some curveballs here and there. I hope you guys are doing well. Like I said off the top of the broadcast, we are here I will bring on my buddy, my right-hand man, Ryan Alexander Taylor, the Ratboy. We'll see how he's doing. And those guys went to the NXT UK TakeOver show last weekend. Blackpool's favorite son, Ryan, the Ratboy Alexander Taylor. Can't wait to bring him on for the first time here in 2019. Rory BARR will not join us tonight, but he is in the lead. Let's rehash our prediction show picks so far. Rory BARR, this is after our WWE TLC prediction show. Rory BARR is slightly ahead of the Mailman, Jimmy Milstead. Rory BARR in first place, 86 and 46 since the last time we talked to you on the TLC post show. But he went 7-5 last show, and in that prediction show, and let the Mailman, Jimmy Milstead, yours truly, catch him almost. I'm one match behind him at 85 and 47. I am the booker next week for the NXT TakeOver picks, as I went 9-3 for that TLC show. I felt pretty good about that. After a terrible start to that show, I ended up running the table. But 85 and 47, the Mailman, Jimmy Milstead. And then we got Mark Wood at 73 and 59. He went 7-5 last time. And then Ratboy, Ryan Alexander Taylor, went 8-4 last pay-per-view for TLC. He is 72 and 60. Just one game in the cellar behind Mark Wood, but still has some time here as we crown a champion at WrestleMania, since we started our wrestling pick'em years start at WrestleMania and begin the new year at WrestleMania. So without further ado, I will bring on the Ratboy, Ryan Alexander Taylor, if he's got his intro music ready. I had something else to say real quick before I bring him on. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Last show we promoted that we were going to make NXT TakeOver UK picks. We decided not to do that just because I personally have not been watching the UK product, but I enjoyed the pay-per-view. We'll bring on the Ratboy, Ryan Alexander Taylor, though. And let's see if he can unmute himself, or I can unmute him. I don't know. Ratboy, we'll have to hear you. Go ahead and start. Try to unmute yourself and play your intro music. The Ratboy, Ryan Alexander Taylor, is with us live here on episode 38 of the small package. Wow, that's a truly cool shirt. Ratboy, can you unmute yourself? He has to put down the shirt. The beauty of live YouTubing. Ratboy, can you hear me? I think there he is. He's camera shy. Ratboy. How's it going, buddy?
Hello.
All right. Ratboy Ryan Alexander Taylor is with us. What time is it over there, sir? Thank you for joining us and staying up late or early. How was work?
So 7 minutes past the 3 o'clock hour.
Man, this guy needs I am giving you the first MILY Award of 2018. You, sir, are the best co-host I've ever had. Our first MILY Award for the small package prognosticator of the year, even though your record doesn't show it. This is the our award for hardest worker and biggest trooper, staying up in the wee hours of the morning and across the pond. Ryan, you are getting the first MILY Award of this show. Congratulations, sir.
Woo!
I hope you
that is good news.
You deserved it, buddy.
That is good news. I feel like celebrating.
Well, let's bring you in on the broadcast. And you went to NXT TakeOver UK last weekend. Well, how's life in general? And how was that show? I enjoyed watching it. I unfortunately couldn't watch it live on the WWE Network, but it looked like a damn good show to be at. Triple H has his guys over there in the UK. He's celebrating. He is celebrating. He's got the first MILY Award. I trust you're not keeping anybody up in your house at 3 a.m.
Say again?
Oh, I'm hoping you're not waking anybody up or your neighbors at 3 a.m. Blaring.
Oh, no, I like my neighbors.
All right. Well,
I like my neighbors.
How's life? And tell us about the WWE UK takeover. You and the BARR were there live last weekend as Triple H brings the NXT UK brand on the scene. Pretty cool card. We saw Pete Dunne take on Joe Coffey in the UK Championship match, and he has retained the UK title. We also saw a debut Walter showing up. People not familiar with Walter. Where is he from? Like Austria or something? I saw him live out here at Defy a few months back in the summer. He's a big man. I could see him and Pete Dunne going at it here soon. And we also had Finn Balor on the card. Some pretty good ladies women's match. I'll let you babble on about it. How'd you enjoy WWE UK over there at Blackpool, England?
If there's one thing I learned from NXT UK Blackpool is that a good hamburger is grounded in simplicity. A warm bun, not grilled, just steamed. A nice medium rare pate. And some good old fashioned French fries.
Yeah.
It was easily, hats off to Pastels of Blackpool. That was easily the best hamburger I've had in this country for a considerable amount of years.
Nice.
Not quite comparable to Shake Shack or your precious In-N-Out burger. But, no, that was a mighty fine hamburger.
Yeah, I can't.
The show itself.
Go ahead.
The show itself was really good. The Sunday, the aftermath, was a very family-centric atmosphere. I think everybody was pretty much hungover from the day before. It was good, but it wasn't quite the atmosphere of Saturday. Saturday the crowd was electric. Everybody kept taking the shoes off for Zach Gibson and whatnot. That sure stank up the room.
Yeah.
But I think objectively the best match was probably Mustache Mountain. The first match, the final of the tag team tournament to crown the inaugural tag team champions.
Yeah, that was a great opener. I enjoyed that match a lot. A little bulldog, British
Being
bulldog.
able to watch the wonderful Rhea Ripley, Tony Storm's reception when Finn turned up.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all. Yeah, I thought the women's match was pretty good. Trying to think what else. What else did we have? Oh, they had a hardcore match. What'd you think of that one? What was it? Mastiff and I can't remember the gentleman's name.
I'm still getting familiar with the themes and the names because NXT UK, I hadn't actually watched a full episode before I went the other day. So by music, I only definitely knew who probably Tony Storm and Pete Dunne were, and obviously Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get more familiar with the brand, truth be told. So
Yeah,
I guess Saturday was a great starting point.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to really watch the weekly episodes they throw up on the network, but I was pretty familiar with everybody on the card, and I was thoroughly entertained. So that Sunday show, was that a taped show for an episode, you think, or what was?
They taped 3 TV episodes.
Oh, okay. So that sounds pretty cool, man. I'm glad you guys got to go and enjoy over there in your own neck of the woods some WWE NXT UK fantastic wrestling, and I'm looking forward to once things slow down, man. It's still high paced over here in the States as far as how many hours I've allocated to pro wrestling, but and including doing this show, sir. But we've got some business to conduct, and we didn't have a chance to hand out our 2018 MILY Awards. I'm no Dave Meltzer or nothing, but my memory is cloudy. We're gonna do our best here to remember what the hell happened. There was so much wrestling, and we're pretty much to our message to our audience. We're pretty much sticking to WWE. This is pretty much what we cover here on the show. Last year, I know I gave out some awards as we go through each category. I brought up 11 categories for. We have 11 MILYs to hand out. Then we'll do the NXT UK, the NXT main NXT awards that they're voting on, and we'll present at NXT Takeover Arizona. We'll run through our thoughts on each category as we'll bring that up here in a minute. But we'll start off here, Ratboy, with a 10-bell salute. We opened off with a little tribute there, audio-wise, to probably the greatest announcer of all times, backstage, commentary, as far as sometimes mainly backstage, but just an all-around character. Gene Okerlund, at the age of 76 this month, what was it, last week? I guess he had complications suffering from a fall, but this guy's had numerous kidney transplants, I guess. I don't know everything about it. I had a chance to meet Mean Gene in Dallas, and it was one of the most personable experiences at WrestleCon I've ever had. He had plenty of time to meet or chat with everybody that came up to his table. There wasn't a huge line, so he was just like pretty much part of a big part of my childhood, WWF golden years. And we'll take a couple seconds here to give Mean Gene Okerlund a 10-bell salute here on the small package. A WWE icon. I know he's up there reuniting with Bobby the Brain Heenan, Gorilla Monsoon, and so many other talents. Mean Gene Okerlund, we'll never forget you, buddy. If I could give you a MILY Award, you'd get it every year, sir. Thanks for all the years of entertainment, and the best I can do tonight is raise a glass to one of the best legends of all time at announcing. Mean Gene Okerlund, you were the man, sir, and we're going to give you a 10-bell salute, sir. Mean Gene Okerlund. Ratboy, you have any great memories of Mean Gene? I know you grew up mostly in the Attitude Era. You got the microphone there. Give me your thoughts. Anything to say about Mean Gene?
I mean, without being humorous, it's tough to, as you mentioned, I first grasped eyes on wrestling in 1997. So, and by then of which he was a product of WCW. So, obviously, all my memories of Mean Gene will not be from present experience, if you like, but will be from the past. I think one of the first things I ever saw of Mean Gene was, if you remember the Scheme Gene character,
Yeah.
which is one of the WWF parodies they made of him when he was in WCW.
Wow.
And I think as a youngster, you grow up, you see the vignettes of him, like mainly talking with Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. I think arguably the Mean Gene promo or segment I'll always remember the most is when he interviewed Hulk Hogan moments after joining the New World Order.
Oh,
Bash
yeah.
at the Beach '96.
Historic.
You know, when the ring was literally filled from turnbuckle to turnbuckle with nothing but trash thrown from the audience.
Yeah, I think he got hit once with a cup or two.
I remember him saying, you know, look at all this crap filling the ring. This is what you've got to come now. You've joined the likes of Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
Yeah, he felt hatred that night, I think. He made fans believe this was the dastardly. This is one of the biggest moments in all time in wrestling, so good memory.
Yeah. I remember his Hall of Fame ceremony obviously said they hope to bury him. He hopes to be buried face down so all of his critics can come up and kiss his ass.
Yeah, I think like Mark Wood said, he might have got that from a college basketball coach over here. But Mean Gene.
I mean, he's easily the greatest man ever on the stick.
Yeah,
I think as a side note, now this era, there'll never be another Mean Gene because I don't think this era allows for it. Maybe definitely. The closest at some point would have been Renee Young, but they've obviously ruined her, and she's just another generic robot sitting at the announcer's table. Really, yeah. Nobody seems to be able to exude that much personality and charisma and that sort of touch on the microphone anymore. So I think, you know, just as Jim Ross is best at commentary, Mean Gene's, well, he's the master of the stick.
Indeed.
I mean,
yeah.
not this stick. I do confess that this is actually bubble bath.
That's incredible. Is that over in England only?
Say again?
Is that an England product? I've never even seen that over here. Incredible. It's a bubble bath.
No, it was great. It was a Christmas present from my sister. She gave me US dollars as well, but she just wanted something goofy to put in it, so she put it in the bubble bath.
Incredible.
Which was pretty cool. You know?
Nice.
I wonder how much an authentic microphone cost, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a couple of regular microphones. I don't seem to know how to work. They're just here for gimmicks. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess as a product, I'm 42, going to be 43 here next month. Mean Gene Okerlund. I just remember him putting his hand up to Andre the Giant. Those backstage interviews, Saturday night's main event, countless Georgie Animal Steel interview, or he just carried some of these talents. But not, I never called the hotline WCW. I always wanted to, even though I was old enough to do it. I didn't need my parents' permission by that time, but I never really did that. I wonder. He sold interviews. He made interviews. Yeah, like you said, there's too many robotic people in the product these days. They'll never be another guy like him. I mean, even watching Legends House, that's a guy I wanted to roll up to a bar and drink with. He seems like he loved his libations. Seemed like a cool cat to hang out with. You know, he was an icon in the 80s with the rock and wrestling, Cyndi Lauper. That's when I first stumbled upon the scene. And, you know, I mean, Hulkamania, the Macho Man promos, even when they were coming to your town type, they were promoting, like back where I lived in Maryland at the Capitol Center, they'd have these individual promos to hype up the live events back then. And they'd bring on The Rock, Don Morocco, and Mr. Fuji, and Mean Gene just be interviewing all these guys back there in that classic WWF background. He brought a lot to interviews, and he will be sorely missed. I had a chance, like I said, at WrestleCon to meet him. One of the warmest handshakes I'd ever gotten, and he made you feel special. It was not just like to get up there. I got a Mean Gene autograph back there where my finger is. He signed that personally. I've got the LJN figure still. He's just an icon. And I have yet to watch the network special that they just put up on him. I'm looking forward to doing that as soon as I can. Just more hours of wrestling to watch. But he will surely be missed. And I need to go down to a rabbit hole and maybe bring out some stuff I can't think of right now to talk about. But, yeah, the golden era of the WWF for me is where I started watching him. I didn't get to see too much of him from the AWA, I guess, where he kind of started getting famous from. And that's how he got to WWF, but back there in the 80s. But I'm sure I can't wait to watch that special. Have you been able to watch it yet, Ratboy?
No, I was watching the. Have you seen the Nigel McGuinness special on the network?
No, that's the other one I need to watch because that'll come up later.
Seeing the Magic, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I meant to watch that after the
if you'll just give me 15 seconds, please, mailman. 1 sec.
Oh, for sure.
1 sec. Hold it.
Good one.
Quite easily the greatest theme music ever for an announcer.
Yeah, I had that WWF album. I can't find it. I got to scour my mom's house back east. I also had WWF Pile Driver.
Oh, yeah.
I had a cassette tape of that shit. It was kind of not good music, but some of it was awesome. Like Coco Beware, that guy could not sing, but I like that song.
True.
But now, Mean Gene, back to him. Remember that match he tagged with Hulk Hogan? I think he wrestled. It was a Mr. Fuji, and was it George Animal Steel?
I do confess that was one of the big things that went over my head for so long. I pretty much only knew that existed only about a week ago. So. Oh
yeah, I mean I remember.
Again, like you say, I was only really born in the last dying breath of the 80s. I was only born in about 3 months before the end of that decade. So quite a lot of that passes me by.
That's the beauty of the network. I'm hoping I just haven't had a lot of time to do the extra stuff. I still have yet to watch SmackDown from this week, and I need to catch up on a couple NXT. It's just hard to keep up with the current product, and I want to go relive a lot of that Mean Gene era, and then there's so much stuff to consume. So the WWE Network is just it's so worth the price. And are they raising that price? I can't remember. I thought I heard something.
There was speculation of them introducing a tier system.
Yeah, I haven't. I thought I heard on the Solomons that they might have raised it a little bit already, but for people that are recent,
it's still it's still $9.99 over here. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm not just shamelessly plugging the company or being a shill. It is ridiculously good value.
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to be bored. It's just so much. There's so much wrestling. I can take
compared to what you guys are paying for in the States, I mean, what does it cost? Like $50, $60 per pay-per-view?
Oh.
Over here, even before the network, over here, it only really cost £15. So you were getting the much rougher end of the stick for years. And obviously, the access to watch every pay-per-view, every pay-per-view, every episode of Raw, SmackDown, the 24 series, the original content they put out is tremendous.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder, though, if, obviously considering how bad Raw has been this year, which for me has been the worst year in Raw's history. And I put it even worse than 1995, because at least then it was only an hour long and the talent roster wasn't nearly what it is now.
What do you think of the... I'm trying to think. I was deployed in Iraq, but I'd see episodes on AFN. I didn't think 2006 was that great, but... Or maybe it was 2005. Around 2006, it wasn't. I mean, like, of course, you had your Benoits and your. I thought. Maybe it was just because I was deployed in Iraq. I didn't get to really follow the product a lot. I thought there was a lot of weak talent. I mean, you had your big time talents: Benoit, Undertaker, Batista. There was some shallow year. 2006 through 2009, maybe. I don't know.
2006, I think Edge versus Cena was the premier feud.
Yeah.
I think Benoit and Batista were on SmackDown. 2011, I always think of as a particularly just god-awful year with a very average WrestleMania.
Yeah, maybe I had the wrong year. It was just I couldn't follow the product too much too. So
yeah.
2006, but anyways, once again, RIP Mean Gene Okerlund. We'll talk more about him if we can watch those shows and give some there's so much memories for that guy. We could spend the whole show on that, but Mean Gene Okerlund, thoughts and prayers out to his family and friends. Definitely never going to be forgotten. Here. All right, well, let's go on to our first category, shall we? We've got 11 awards to get out for 2018. These are the awards I kind of came up with last year. I only had 7, and I kind of went all over the map. We're sticking to WWE and NXT just because those are the it's the product that we predict every month with takeovers and various WWE pay-per-views. So without further ado, let's start off with how about we go with let's start off with the most improved wrestler of the year, Ratboy, shall we? I'll let you go. Did you get a chance to look at all these categories, or are you doing it on the fly?
Well, this was actually one of them which I had a considered answer for.
Okay. Well, you want to go first, or you want me to start off and show you how? Or...
I think I'll go first because I have a suspicion quite a few people across the internet have gone for this person.
All right. Well, I'm listening to you. I'll be right back. I can hear you. I gotta hit the men's room real quick. I'm hearing you though. Nice. Go ahead and talk about the first one.
Always. Are you receiving me? Is he gone?
Yeah. I couldn't hear you, man. My bad. I'm sorry. That was so rude of me.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, that was
sorry.
I was holding that forever.
I've gone for somebody who I think a lot of people across the internet have gone for. I think this person has had a stellar 2018. I think he or she has been slowly rising since they came up from NXT back in the draft of 2016. And for my most improved superstar of the year goes to this person.
FABULOUS.
Oh. Well, hello.
Fabulous indeed. Carmella is my pick for my most improved superstar of 2018. I think the two performances you have to highlight in particular was I think both the triple threat matches she was in with Charlotte and Becky. One literally about 9 days ago on SmackDown, and the other one at SummerSlam, where Becky turned heel after Charlotte won the championship. I especially enjoyed her promo, the SmackDown Go Home show before SummerSlam, which I thought was one of the better promos this year. Maybe one of the best from the women's side this year. I think she's gained a hell of a lot more credibility in the ring. I think she's a good worker. I mean, let's be honest, she always looks good.
Oh yeah.
And I think as well, I think she's got a. I think I'm enjoying the sort of comedy tandem she's got going with R-Truth.
Oh yeah, dance break.
I think a lot of people the past few years have been paired with R-Truth, and I think they're working well for each other. I think it's sort of elevating the pair of them. To be honest, R-Truth seems to be put in a bit of a higher spot in me. He faced Daniel Bryan on SmackDown the other week.
Yeah, it was a good way to revive little Jimmy. That's for sure.
No, so I think successful cash-in after Mania. We were all there, of course.
Wait a minute, literally.
I mean, I enjoyed her partnership with James Ellsworth. I enjoy the comedy bit she's doing with Truth. She's improved a hell of a lot in the ring, and she's my pick for 2018. Who would have thought as well, though, she'd be the surviving one out of her, Cass, and Enzo?
That's what I was going to get to. I would have never predicted that at the NXT level, because Ratboy, you stole my thunder. Because my award as well sorry, technically proficient there.
Yeah.
I went with her as well. Here as we get our first envelope for the 2018 MILYs. If I can get it. Carmella is my most improved wrestler. So Carmella, you get the 2018 MILY of most improved wrestler. What's that move, Ryan? She gets that heel hook or at heel or the back of her leg to choke out an opponent.
I know what you mean.
I'm stumbling here, but it's an impressive finish.
That's what I mean. As I said before, I didn't receive his pick, so I'm gonna try and read Rory's mind. I don't think he will have been jumping on the bandwagon. I think Rory too would have gone for Carmella. So
yeah, her wrestling. I don't know.
Maybe he can give me his feedback when he sees this, but I think Rory also would have gone for Carmella.
Cheerio. Yeah, I think she deserves most improved wrestler. Back to my points. We were there live. She cashed in. I've always thought she was kind of a strong promo. She carries herself well. She's a confident woman. I think she's only getting better. And like you said, I've enjoyed her pairing with R-Truth. I can see a lot going on. I haven't watched this past week's SmackDown, but I'm interested. Did they talk about their vacation to Stamford, Connecticut, or has that been followed up on? They're supposed to. I don't know if they had video highlights of that yet, or I just think she's a funny, charismatic, sexy woman, and I think her wrestling has really improved since those early days in NXT. I remember her watching before she was with Enzo and Big Cass, and like you said, who would have ever thought when their Enzo and Cass were so hot that she'd be the standout and lone survivor? I can only imagine how much of a bright future she has. We'll see where she goes. I love her outfits. I think she's totally improved, and I almost kind of gave her one of the most underrated as well, but I didn't do that. But Carmella, massive props. You are the award winner all around for us. We're just gonna give our individual awards, Ratboy, but this one's a unanimous for us here at the small package. Any other thoughts?
Well, I think we've bypassed the most important, arguably heated debate of the week, which is WWE sort of reverting back to Attitude Era tactics with the rather, yeah. I
don't care.
Well, this is the thing. Without being a misogynist, I can't say that for obvious reasons, I didn't enjoy the Alexa Bliss segment, but from obviously as an objective point of view, I think it was completely pointless.
Yeah.
The Mandy Rose one I felt was a bit lighter. We've seen those sort of things like with Enzo and Lana a couple of years ago.
I mean, I totally get it. I'm not complaining. I have yet to watch SmackDown. I know
you can tell Vince is going to these Raw tapings at the moment.
Yeah. Well, congrats, Carmella. You are unanimous MILY Award winner here on the small package, episode 38. Let's move on. How about we go to the most underrated wrestler of 2018, shall we? Did you get a chance to think of this one? One of our 11 categories, most underrated. It could be a tag team as well. We're kind of doing this on the fly. If you don't have anything that you studied, there was a lot that happened this year. We're talking NXT too. I mean, even though we're going to go over the NXT award nominations and what we think should be it here in a minute. But most underrated wrestler or wrestlers of 2018.
Yes. I sort of surprised myself with this choice. This is a man, as I'm sure the BARR will be a testament to, who I've expressed serious dislike to in the past. I've said some things I'm certainly not pleased with, which was due to him ending a certain streak a few years ago. But I think the most underrated, and I think it's a man, it's fair to say, his character is easily stronger than his wrestling skills. Well, they usually take more center stage than his wrestling ability. But this is a guy who's certainly in the latter stages of his career. But I'll suspend, and to tell you the truth, my most underrated performer of the year goes to this man.
Sing it. You can get with this. What's up? What's up? What's up? Little Jimmy's what's up?
R-Truth. R-Truth takes my most underrated performer, wrestler, if you like.
I like it.
For 2018. I just think to the new audience, this is a guy who obviously he did a lot. Obviously in the earlier stages of TNA when it was still technically the NWA, and obviously we'll probably know him more as K Quick back in the day, if you remember when he partnered the Road Dogg.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know things about to get rowdy. The D-O-double-G and K Quick get rowdy. You know?
Yeah.
I think again him and Carter Miller, I think it's a great partnership. I think they've done definitely a lot more good than harm for each other's career. I mean, he's been in segments with all the McMahons. He seems to have been involved in comedically, but obviously in quite some big angles. And I just I don't think we're going to get to a point where he's ever going to be considered even like a mid-card threat anymore, you know, going for the US Intercontinental Championships. But for whatever purpose he serves, I think he's all right with me.
All right. And that's what's up. So I totally dig that pick. They had a great run in the Mixed Match Challenge. So, Vince McMahon loves them too. So, well, I kind of went with a different route, Ratboy. This is one of my first wacky ones because we're calling it most underrated doesn't mean that they've had the biggest limelight. They've also been in the news here lately as far as possibly maybe leaving for another promotion. But we'll spare you the well, let's get our drum roll here, shall we? This MILY, if I can get it. I need a soundboard guy so I can time it better. But the 2018 MILY Award for Jimmy the Mailman Milstead for most underrated performers. We're going all hard all day and night. I don't even know the lyrics totally. Can you help me out, Ratboy? Say yeah.
Say yeah.
Yeah.
We go hard all day, all night. All my proud Southern people be ready to fight. Say yeah, 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 yeah.
So
we ain't
yeah.
ashamed. Yeah.
Anyways,
who, if you don't mind me asking, who obviously the category is underrated. Who do you think is most guilty of underrating the Revival?
Well, what do you mean?
Is this more of a thing from the fans or from the office?
From the office, basically. I just don't think we're getting enough value from them. They've been booked like crap. I just think we can still tell better stories. I don't want to be one of these fanboys. I know I got a bunch of figures back here, but this is one of the things I hate about the product. There could be so much better storytelling with these guys. I think they could be such evil heels, a la the Horsemen. Maybe that effect with Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard type past stuff maybe wears off on them too much, maybe, and maybe they don't want to relive that with these guys because there's only a select few that were in the Four Horsemen. But I just think in this modern day age, the tag team wrestling scene could really use these guys, and these guys, if they do go elsewhere, they're going to go find the Young Bucks and have Dave Meltzer 10-star classics. We saw what they could do in NXT with DIY. what was that one match we saw with AOP, the triple threat? That was one of my favorite matches of 2017, I think it was. But
yeah, that was the Takeover Orlando.
Maybe I should have renamed this Most Underappreciated or something. But I think the Revival have only touched the surface. I think they can be even better promos. I haven't liked the 2018 landscape. Maybe them getting hurt off the bat when they came up to the main roster kind of bit them in the ass, unfortunately. I know we were supposed to get them in the New Day. That was the one I first met you there in Orlando. But I think Dash and Dawson, totally underrated. I guess just from the Office standpoint, this one I had the most difficulty, I guess, as far as what's the word I'm looking for? This was the most difficult category because there's probably a better candidate. Like Your R-Truth was great. I just look at these guys and there's so much potential. I don't know. I know they're not underrated as far as us fans, but I think they're better than that. Just like Cesaro. I can name Cesaro year in and year out. There's a guy down at NXT. I like Cassius Ohno a bunch, man. I know he's totally underrated down there. I know he's like a kind of a jobber to the stars, basically, but I value Cassius Ohno, man. That guy puts on some good matches. But I know there's a bunch more I want to say here, but I'll let you any other thoughts on the Revival and my pick. I just think I'd love to see him stay on the WWE product. I don't know I haven't paid attention too much to all the dirt sheets and stuff lately, but I guess I've just been hearing that they're ready to be released and they want to go kick some ass out there in other parts of the world. I know they want a Young Bucks match so bad. But thoughts on the Revival?
Rumors are right that they have requested their release, similar to the pairing of Mike and Maria Kanellis. I'd be very surprised if you don't see them in All Elite Wrestling before soon.
Yeah.
I imagine they'd apply for the copyright trademark because one of the sort of dream, maybe arguably the biggest dream tag team match out there is the Young Bucks versus the Revival.
Take my money for that one. I would love to see that. They've been booking that on Twitter for years.
Yeah. So I'd be very surprised if we don't see them in All Elite Wrestling before the end of the year.
Yeah, speaking of All Elite Wrestling, we haven't touched that here on the small package. AEW, for those that don't know, I know everybody that would watch this kind of YouTube show knows what's going on, but I'm just saying in case you're a fan that stumbled upon us. They're getting a big backing here from the Jacksonville Jaguars ownership. I think they're going to be for real. We'll wait, see what kind of TV deal they get. But Chris Jericho signed. I know he wouldn't just sign if he didn't know a good TV deal was in place. I know I haven't listened to his podcast lately, but he's pretty excited. I think he has a 3-year deal, I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's where Kenny Omega's gone. The Young Bucks, Cody, and Hangman Page, guys like Pac, Neville. It's already got a great base, and they got a pay-per-view in May. Double or Nothing. Is it May or was it March?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're in Vegas. I can't wait to see how that develops. Kind of like an All-In 2. And to get that promotion off to a kick-ass start. So all the best to those guys. Just more wrestling for us to break down. But, it'd be interesting to see all these talents in WWE that aren't happy. They have a place to go to. I think that's going to be All Elite Wrestling. It's going to be, I think that's going to be something to watch for here in 2019. So, Ratboy, we'll move on to the next category. I have the best non-wrestler of 2018. I wanted to pick, my pick was something, and then all of a sudden that person started wrestling. So I changed my pick, but we'll let you go first. Best non-wrestler of 2018 and their MILY Award.
Best non-wrestler of 2018. This is a tough category.
Yeah.
This was a tough one. This may sound like a bit of a vanilla choice, but I'm gonna go with. One sec, I'm just making the usual preparations. One sec. sec. Yes. I'm gonna go with somebody who, I'm gonna go for somebody who commands great respect around the business. He's a man who's done tremendous work with a particular brand. I think he's somebody who shows us a different mold of the traditional authority figure. I think he shows us the right way for it to be done. I think he's integral to the success of NXT.
Oh God, do we have the same?
And well,
I think we're on the same level here.
Yeah, I of course appreciate that you will refer to me as Blackpool's favorite son.
Oh shit.
However, I am Blackpool's second favorite son because our favorite son is this man.
Nice. Sir William Regal gets Ratboy's MILY of 2018. Best non-performer, non-wrestler. Even though he is... Why is this guy... Is this guy in the Hall of Fame yet? He should be...
I don't think he wants to be in the Hall. I don't think he wants to be in the Hall of Fame yet. I think William Regal... I think he's of the type that I think he wants to be in the Hall of Fame when he considers his work to be done, but I'm not quite sure.
Good point.
When that's going to be. Obviously, you know, that may not be the same if The Rock goes in this year because his career is obviously it doesn't show any signs of slowing down. But
yeah,
you just don't find, you know, the only person with a bad word to say about Regal is that overhyped piece of crap, Bill Goldberg.
What a terrible! Well, he made that guy look good in that one WCW match. Yeah, I know what you're talking about there, Ratboy.
Bill can't wrestle. That's not Regal's fault, okay?
Man, he got
at the end of the day, he can't hit himself.
Wow.
The man exposed himself and he exposed the business. Well, he didn't expose the business, but he exposed himself.
Yeah.
For the overhyped fraud he's always been and will forever be.
Yeah. Well, I'll get to mine here. I don't have any theme music. I was originally, that was my first choice, but I am sticking in your home country, sir. I don't have any song to play, but here's the drum roll. 2018 MILY of the Year Award for Best Non-Wrestler is Nigel McGuinness.
Oh.
Yeah, I really enjoy this guy as a color commentator. I know his dream, a top performer, and I got to watch that documentary like you said. But Nigel McGuinness gets my best non-performer. I love this guy as an announcer. I always have. I loved him in ROH as the man in charge down there. I was so glad when he basically got the call to go to WWE. I'm not sure how the bulk of wrestling fans enjoy him on commentary, but I was heartbroken when Corey Graves left NXT, and basically he goes up there and he kind of lost his little touch. I mean, I still enjoyed Corey Graves. Don't get me wrong, but I still think Corey Graves in NXT was a ton better. I know he's got Vince in his ear probably twice as much, but he comes off more corny up there. But Nigel McGuinness compliments Mauro Ranallo. I'm not the biggest Mauro Ranallo fan, but interested to see that documentary. McGuinness is one of my favorite play-by-play guys in all of WWE, all of wrestling, and I just think no matter what this guy does, I hope he sticks on commentary, but I could very much well see maybe some kind of bigger role for this guy if he ever gets the chance to do it. I know his career cut short. What was he? Concussions or something? Ratboy. I have to watch that documentary. I know he had tremendous matchups. He had great matchups back in the day, even with Daniel Bryan and a lot of other guys. But I really enjoy his work on the commentary team. I could really only go the commentary route. I was going to pick, like I said earlier, she started wrestling. I was going to pick Zelina Vega. She's my kind of runner-up, but she started wrestling, so I can't really put her in this category for non-wrestler, but I loved her as a valet beginning of this year with Andre Cien Almas. She was the early candidate for this category, but congrats, Nigel McGuinness. Excellent talent, and I hope I can only hope he gets better. He will get better. I mean, he has a major influence down there, and now he's doing the UK product. He's a valuable tool there in WWE. I know they're glad to have him. Any thoughts on my MILY Award there, Ryan? Nigel McGuinness.
Yes. Forgive me. I forgot to predict the BARR's most underrated pick. I think the BARR for most underrated will have gone for Mandy Rose.
Oh, I don't have her music, but I like it. I got to get it.
I'll break out some Barry Manilow in a bit.
All right, yeah. Oh, Mandy.
Whom would he have predicted for the best non-wrestler? I'll try to be diplomatic and not go for Regal or McGuinness. There's not really a standout commentator on Raw or SmackDown anymore. I think the BARR for the best non-wrestler would have gone for fellow Pokemon enthusiast Kathy Kelly.
Oh, she's easy on the eyes.
Oh,
she's
great.
I
Tremendous
love her.
leg.
I like what she did with her hair too. I like brunettes, but she kind of put a little blonde in there. She's sexy as hell.
Agreed.
Was she over there in the UK for the show? I can't remember.
No, she wasn't, unfortunately.
I wasn't sure. I don't remember. You guys have a couple of personalities over there I'm not familiar with that do that show, but
well,
yeah,
half of them have been Blue Pizza, so
big fan of Kathy Kelly. We'll give her an honorary MILY for best non-wrestler. There's a lot of backstage interviewers, like we were off the top. Nobody will ever be like Mean Gene, but pretty much it's full of sexy women. There's a couple of robots like Dasha Fuentes, but Charlie Caruso is pretty good looking, and she's pretty talented. But and who's the other girl I'm thinking of? She's a ring announcer too. I think she's a pretty gal. I can't think of. Well, obviously JoJo. Who's the other gal? I can't think of who she is, but
bring back Lillian Garcia. That's all I can say. Yeah. Bring back Lillian Garcia.
All right, boy. Let's move on. We still got some categories here. Let's go to most overrated. Want to go to most overrated?
Oh,
Jesus! This one's gonna be. This one might end the show. Somebody might get in a fight here.
Yes.
If we I got a couple. I mean, off the top, just based on WWE booking, I know he's not overrated, but my guy Shinsuke, he's not my award winner, but just based off, I mean, this is depending on bookings and how WWE sees it, I guess, too. Just like what I thought for the Revival. So you can have that insight. I'm not giving Shinsuke it because I love him too much, but we'll start off with you. 2018. Who'd you think was most overrated?
Yes. My answer for this has been the same since day one.
Oh shit! Not Ish.
Since day no. Oh no, I dig the Usos.
All right.
Oh yeah, I see what I did there.
Yeah.
Oh no, I have nothing but love for the Usos. Yeah, so I accidentally delivered a pun there. But let me ask you something. Can you feel it?
Can you feel it? Oh yeah. Oh, I know what you're doing.
Can you?
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Hey, what happened to it? Hey,
where's your lipstick? Is it neon yellow?
Exactly. Lights out. Because I no longer, nor does anybody wish to feel the glow. The most overrated performer of 2018 goes to Naomi.
You got a glow stick there?
Hey?
I thought I saw something glowing there.
Well, there's a glow stick for you.
Yeah.
You can't see, but I'm flipping you off.
All right. Well, you're going to be flipping me off here in a minute. What pissed you off about Naomi this year?
Say again?
What was it? Her winning the Battle Royal, the Women's Battle Royal? I'm trying to think what other highlighted matches she was in. She kind of tailed off. I guess she's been in a lot of the mixed match challenges, but she won the Women's Battle Royal at Mania New Orleans. She didn't. I guess she had some fun spots in the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. I can't think of too much. Naomi, she had that glow in the dark belt was last year, right? She didn't have the title.
Yes. It was also a disgrace.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be a disgrace to you.
Your answer better not be what I think is going to be.
Ladies and gentlemen,
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh.
The show is ending. I knew as soon as I posted this category, this was. Oh God, I think Ratboy's gonna kick my ass in New York. My 2018 most overrated wrestler, yes. And I promise, Ratboy, with these hands, I have this award for her to give if I ever see her. I'm trying to think. Let me. I'm not in the same room with you, but I don't want to get my ass kicked. Unfortunately for her, a lot had to do with injuries, so I'll give her a little bit of credit. It sucked for her, and I'll give her credit. She's good on the mic, but I'm trying to think. I didn't like her match. Partly, I guess you could blame that as well. I didn't like her match at Mania, even though she lost it, and that's not her fault. But what was Nia Jax took the WWE Women's? Was that the Raw? Was that the Raw title or the SmackDown? Yeah, it was the Raw title at the time. I didn't see any sense in putting. Or she won the Money in the Bank. I hated that part. I can't think of too many memorable matches. She had the match with Ronda Rousey, the little arm spot. I guess that's cool, but I didn't like her GM role. Her show right now. I guess the Paul Heyman one was pretty cool, but she had the segment with Bailey. Was that last year? I don't know. I haven't been enamored with Alexa Bliss since 2018, and I know you hate me. I know you got to meet her, but and I probably about 70% of this is due to injury. It's not a lot of her fault, but I can't really remember too much.
Well, she's overrated because she got injured.
I just think, I don't know, man. I haven't seen enough out of her.
Kevin Owens is overrated.
Well, Kevin Owens had some great memorable.
No, he's injured though. He's injured. I'm only going by your standards.
What was memorable to you about Alexa Bliss this year?
Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's overrated. He's injured.
Yeah, Sami Zayn had a bad 2018. That Bobby Lashley shit was terrible.
Forgive me. Who won the first ever Elimination Chamber match for the women?
That was. I'll tell you what. I hated that. We all knew she was gonna win that.
Who won it?
Alexa Bliss. I'm just. I know you.
Who was the standout pairing? Who was the standout pairing for the Mixed Match Challenge season 1?
Well, that's the other thing. Well, the Miz and Asuka ruled that shit.
Who won the women's Money in the Bank briefcase?
It shouldn't have been her.
Who won the Money in the Bank briefcase?
She won the title as soon as she took that briefcase.
Who
down.
cashed in less than an hour later?
I couldn't stand it, man. I don't see what the big fuss is. Sasha Banks is 10 times better. I'm looking forward to that, man. I think she's gonna have a 10-time better match than Alexa Bliss here at the Rumble with Ronda Rousey. I just didn't enjoy. I think. What other feuds did she have? Did she have a feud with Bailey this year? That segment that last year. That was a
Tell
terrible.
me something. How many times has Sasha Banks been champion?
Oh, what, 4?
How many successful title defenses has she had?
I guess she's lost it every time.
Exactly.
Well, it was the Charlotte Flair, right?
Eh?
Charlotte Flair's, the second nature, man. I love Charlotte Flair. Well, hey, man.
Who did Sasha Banks last lose the Raw Women's Championship to?
Was it Bliss?
You tell me.
I can't remember. I'm sure it was.
Tell me something, MailMan.
I'm getting grilled here. This is where the ratings go up. Hey, man.
Tell me something. Tell me something, MailMan.
We don't.
How did your precious Washington Capitals get on against the Columbus Blue Jackets the other day?
That's part of it because right now the Columbus Blue Jackets. Hey, right now they're in first place, and they think they've won something. They haven't won shit. And I know Alexa Bliss is enjoying it, but when is Alexa Bliss going to wrestle again? She's healthy. That's another part of it. I know it's 2019 right now, and I know
she suffered 2 concussions within a month.
She's cleared, right?
No, she suffered 2 concussions within a month, and she's that big of a star. They'll think of anything just to keep her on TV.
I don't know. She's got to bring it. I wasn't impressed with any of her matches. No. That was one of the matches I went. That was one of the matches I got up at WrestleMania 34.
The truth is, MailMan. The truth is, MailMan. I tell you the truth. The truth is, MailMan. You got lucky against the Las Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup Final. You're a one-and-done team.
We whipped them.
Eh?
We whipped their ass. All right.
Your defense of the Stanley Cup has been nothing short of abysmal, and this is coming from somebody who's this is coming from somebody whose hockey knowledge extends no further than the Mighty Ducks trilogy.
It's a good movie, good trilogy.
Right? Thank you.
I love Amelia Estevez. This is our best segment ever, I think, on the small package.
Well, for you to needlessly attack Ohio's favorite gal out of nothing but sheer contempt.
I love it. I love the microphone.
You see this?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a pen. Oh, shit. He's going on the list.
You know what happens, don't you?
Well, you know what? Two can play at this game because I went on the cruise. So, Ratboy, you see this? We're going to put each other on the list. How's that?
Say again?
We're going to put each other on the list. How's that?
No.
I've got a cruise clipboard.
Say again?
See that? Ratboy?
Say again?
Say again?
Your precious clipboard does nothing to me. That is what it's all about.
All right. Well, Ratboy.
I mean, what kind of a cruise lasts for less than 7 days? Right? What kind of cruise lasts for 7 days?
Hey, I can't wait to see if we get another one. Maybe Alexa Bliss will be in AEW by then. Yeah, right. But anyways, let's move on. Well, what do you think, Ratboy? What do you think Ratboy's most overrated is? We can continue this conversation for the rest of our. You know what this is about, Ratboy? I wanted to sit with you at the Raw after Mania. You said you guys got liquored up, and you ordered tickets without me. So the mailman left in the cold, still waiting. I have to sit by myself now.
I only stabbed you in the back because you walked away from me.
Oh man, we're gonna settle this in New York.
It's easy to stab somebody in the back when they walk away from you.
We're settling this in New York, son. Go on with Rory's. What do you think Rory's most overrated is? We know what Rory's most overrated.
I think Rory's most overrated of the year would be Naomi.
I can't go over how many matches she's been in. I feel like I haven't even seen her except for that mixed match challenge. But I saw a lot of Bliss this year, and I can't remember.
You see a lot of Bliss breaking records, winning championships, winning chambers, winning ladder matches,
and getting walked in on
main eventing for the women's SummerSlam.
Getting walked in on by WWE writers with a bra on, or I guess getting caught. She's a big coffee fan. By the way, Starbucks, that's overrated. She loves Starbucks. Ratboy, you know that. Starbucks is the most. How much would I pay for a cup of coffee? I brew my own coffee. She gets paid very well, and she can do that.
You brew your own coffee and you talk your own bullshit as well.
I get Starbucks gift cards and I give them away. It's overrated coffee, overpriced. Fits the billing. We'll move on to another category. How's that?
I think we shall.
He's mad at me for the rest of the show. Real quick, last year I didn't have these same awards, but what did I have? Breakout performer last year. I went with Braun Strowman, just to give you an idea what we did last year when the show was just in its beginning stages. I also gave it to Juice Robinson because I didn't know how the show was going to go. But any other thing? No, I only had 7 categories. So the MILY Awards have grown. So with that, why don't we just move to the Rookie of the Year, Ratboy? Your Rookie of the Year. I have a feeling we might have the same one, but it could be an NXT call-up. It doesn't have to be Oh, that's a conversation. Alexa Bliss has been on the roster for a while. Is that your rookie of the year? Ratings. We got ratings. Wow, we got a long show here. We still got 6 awards to hand out. Well, 7 now. But rookie of the year. Who do you think call up, or somebody that's pretty new at the business? I have a feeling we'll be on the same on this one. Who do you think had a standout year that's new at this shit?
Well, I'll try to move past my own rage.
I'll never get over that.
Even though you are a poor man's postman, Pat.
I gotta watch that shit.
You're not worthy.
We're having fun, guys. We're gonna relive this episode. If I know how to edit YouTube, we could cut this down to like an hour. This would be one of the biggest highlights in the show's history. 2018 most overrated wrestler. We'll be living with this one forever. Right here on the small package. All right, rookie of the year.
My rookie of the year may seem like a bit of a surprise, but I think upon presentation it'll be quite obvious. This person has, well, no further ado, my rookie of the year is
Well, I'll save you the it's a unanimous decision. Ronda Rousey. I totally agree with you, sir. No drum roll needed. I totally agree with you.
I don't give a damn about a bad reputation. Living in the past, it's a new generation. Ronda Rousey is comprehensively the rookie of the year for 2018.
Too easy. I totally agree. I knew we'd be quick on this one. She's picked up the business fairly quick. I was at the beginning of the year wondering how fans would react, how she would come off, and it's been a rousing success. I was trying a rowdy success, but she wrestles great. I loved her match with Charlotte. Too bad we haven't got the Becky one yet. We know that's coming possibly. I can't wait for the Sasha Banks match. And your Alexa Bliss. Nia Jax match was all right, but I think she even carried that one. But Ratboy, he's falling asleep. I love your coat, by the way. But
say again.
Go ahead. We're unanimous on this one. I'll let you.
This isn't a coat. This isn't a coat. This is an evening robe.
Oh, I love it.
Well, this is no coat. Trust me.
Go ahead. I just wanted to spew out what I thought. I'll let you finish.
It wouldn't be the first time you've spewed out something on this broadcast, would it?
Yeah, I spew out a lot of garbage. I'm sorry. I had to give my true thoughts, though.
Hey?
Floor is yours.
Speaking of floor, myself and the bar secured tickets for SmackDown Live, Raw, and NXT TakeOver Brooklyn this past Sunday.
Nice. I know you got Raw tickets to that. That's cool.
It was a pretty good haul. We've got floor seats for all 3 events.
Nice. Glad I could join you. No, wait, I got to get my ticket.
You do have to get your ticket. You know, it becomes easy to stab someone in the back when they walk away from you.
When did I walk away from you? I don't even understand this. We have to explain this.
Well, whether there was miscommunication early in the air, I swear there was a string of messages when you said you were going to take care of the WrestleMania tickets, and basically we were going to do the same for you for Raw.
Huh.
So I think something got lost. I think something got lost in translation.
We'll have to communicate better because I don't remember this. But anyways, I will find you. I won't be there in town on SmackDown, but I have secured WrestleCon tickets for that Super Show. ROH New Japan. That's Saturday night at the Garden. I'll be at NXT TakeOver in the nosebleeds. I'm still waiting on my partner for WrestleMania. I don't even know what the card is yet, but my partner there is in the know. And then I have to get my Raw ticket, so that's where the mailman stands. But yeah. Anyways, a unanimous decision on Rookie of the Year. Congratulations, Ronda Rousey. She picks up the business just like nobody else. Maybe Kurt Angle. I have enjoyed everything. I hope she can. I'm not sure how long she wants to do this, but I hope she does it for a while because she's been phenomenal. So, Ratboy, we'll move on to our next category. Let's go with the Tag Team of the Year for 2018. Last year, I chose the Usos and the Young Bucks outside the WWE. The Usos were my tag team of WWE last year. Who will it be this year? Find out in a second. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
We might agree on this as well.
The tag team of the year. I think it's fair to say it's been a bit of an underwhelming year for the tag team division, I think, compared to 2016 and 17.
Ratboy's not even in the camera.
Say again?
Oh, we can't see you. I was just like,
oh, can you see that?
Are you? I was just wondering if you're picking your nose or.
You see that?
Yeah, I see it. We're totally feuding right now. Unbelievable. Hey, man, I could have gave it to Shinsuke Nakamura, and he's my favorite wrestler, so I was thinking about it. You'll get over it.
My tag team of the year. I would say I've become a big fan of these guys. Not just because I had the privilege of meeting them in Orlando. I think they were two excellent, obviously, singles guys who nobody suspected to form into a good tag team, but they have done. They made the transition over to SmackDown Live in the 2018 shakeup. They are the current SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions.
Good choice. God, I could have gone and took a shit. What time he decided. It's like, what is he doing off camera? I can't see you. It's kind of bothering me.
Again?
Oh, I was just like kind of wondering. It's kind of eerie seeing you, just your shoulder there, but he got it out, guys.
Well, I have nothing on underneath this robe and shirt, so.
Oh, Yeah,
Exactly.
I could easily gave these guys most underrated as well. We didn't see the bar enough during 2018 at some points. What was it, around the summer? I mean, these guys them and the Usos were like, they took these like 4 months off or something. And they were healthy. They were just not being booked, at least on the TV side of the house. But I can never go wrong with that selection, sir. Speeding up the show, my tag team of the year. Drum roll. God, sorry, guys. 2018 MILY Award winner for 2018 Tag Team of the Year. It's going to be the Undisputed Era.
Hang on. I didn't think this was NXT.
Yeah, I said it could be NXT. That's why I said I was going to be redundant a little bit.
I thought NXT was separate.
No. I listed who did I have earlier?
So we're changing the rules as we go along.
No, I told you I'd have a couple NXTs. I was going to give I gave Nigel McGuinness one. Who else did I have earlier? Okay, I guess we haven't selected. I had a couple NXTs. I told you it was open NXT. I mean, you're eligible to change your pick, but
the translation I got was that it was WWE, that the NXT Awards were separate.
I talked to you earlier. Man, we're feuding tonight. You're allowed to change your pick. It's not a big deal. I enjoyed the Undisputed Era, Roderick Strong. When we were at NXT, Roderick Strong joining this faction made it such a better faction. Unfortunately, Bobby Fish had that knee injury for most of the year. It was a great opportunity for Roderick Strong to fill in. We saw the heel turn there at NXT TakeOver New Orleans live on his partner. They won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament as well. A phenomenal year for the Undisputed Era. Even though Adam Cole, baby, technically not the tag team portion of it, but he was there in the tournament at first, right? If my memory recalls. The faction as a whole, best thing that happened in NXT, I think. And these guys, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong for most of 2018, get my best tag team. They had great matches with Mustache Mountain. What was that? NXT TakeOver Chicago. Or was it Brooklyn? Sorry. They took on Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch in Chicago, right? That was phenomenal. Now they're going to be having a match with Heavy Machinery, right? Or I'm behind a little bit. What are they booked for TakeOver Arizona?
War Raiders.
Oh, yeah, I figured that because I'm still on the episode learning about.
There is no TakeOver Arizona.
Oh, what is it called?
Phoenix.
I'm on the episode where I learned that Hanson had a ruptured spleen, so I didn't know how that played out. I have the weekend off Sunday, Monday, and then the holiday of Martin Luther King Jr. is on Monday, and I have a day off Tuesday. So I'm gonna marathon NXT and catch up. But I didn't think the War Raiders. I didn't know how far along Hanson was, but I love Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. And now it's Bobby Fish. They're all interchangeable, I guess. The whole faction gets my tag team of the year, sir. What do you think Rory would have liked?
Wow.
I know. You're mad at me.
If we're changing the rules on the fly, I think he would have gone for the Undisputed Era as well.
Well, they're getting a MILY, so
I'll say that my NXT Tag Team of the Year would have gone to the Undisputed Era.
That's a no-brainer. I didn't think anybody else in WWE stood out. The tag team division on Raw sucks. SmackDown, of course, you got the New Day, Usos. Sanity disappeared. At one point, I liked, was it Benjamin and Gable? I liked that at first. That went to the shits. Now Gable's on with Rude. I'm not a big fan of that, to tell you the truth. Raw, terrible. But anyways, it is what it is. Let's move on. Let's go to Feud of the Year. 2018 Feud of the Year. This is also NXT eligible, so I'm telling you now.
Well,
are you coming back on camera?
I'm here.
Well, I'm just looking at the wall, but that's cool. We'll show my ugly face.
What a great wall, though.
Oh, I know. It's a great wall.
2017, 2018.
But anyways, Feud of the Year. We're going on 2 hours, Ratboy. 2.5 hours. Holy shit. Nice beard, by the way. Kicks ass. Are you going to grow it for New York?
Say again?
How long's that beard going to be by the time we get to New York?
How long's it going to be?
If you're in last place, we get to trim it, right?
It's going to be long enough so that when I get to New York, I can shave it all off, pick up the shavings from the floor, shove them down your throat.
Chest hair sandwich.
You sufficiently choke. I must apologize to the viewers tonight for the mailman changing the rules on the fly.
Hey, before the show, I told you.
Well, maybe it's another classic case of a miscommunication between the pair of us. But being the consummate professional I am with my bubble bath microphone, I will endeavor to continue at no less than 35 minutes past 4 in the morning. Yeah, that's right. I do hope you're enjoying your 25 to 9 over there.
Well, I mean, I was ready to keep going. You're the one that's we can speed it up.
I will speed nothing up, that's for sure.
All right.
If anything, I will go at a methodical pace.
Well, I could be here all night, buddy.
Oh, I could be here all night too. We talk about Feud of the Year. I'm going to go underground first. My NXT Feud of the Year surely can't come as a surprise. It is the greatest feud in all of NXT. It's the greatest feud in NXT's short yet illustrious history. It is a feud of which we are destined to see another chapter. Whether that will be in Brooklyn, I'm not so sure. It is, of course, Johnny Gargano and the reigning NXT champion, Tommaso Ciampa.
All right. It is mine as well.
It is?
Yes. I enjoyed the hell of it. Oh, continue, though. You got another one?
Oh, I've got another one.
Well, I'll just cut to the chase real quick, and we'll get back to you real quick. There's no question about it. It was Ciampa Gargano. I couldn't put that as my match of the year because it was unsanctioned. But everything about those two guys, the storytelling.
You couldn't what?
My feud of the year.
You couldn't put the match of the year because
Not
it was
that
unsanctioned.
it was. Well, I mean, you can. I did not.
Give over. Give over.
Well, I have a better match than that for match of the year.
I'll be very curious just to know what that is, but I'll wait.
Yeah, that's our main event, is the match of the year. But yeah, cut things short. This thing's still ongoing. I'm on the episode where Aleister Black and Gargano are going to have a cage match. So I don't know anything that goes on beyond that. I apologize for not being up to speed yet due to mail delivery and other items. But I don't know. Is this on the way to a triple threat? I mean, I don't care if you spoil it for me. I'll be watching it. But this feud is epitomized 2018 as far as WWE anything goes. Obviously, I would have loved in New Japan. What do we have? Omega reunited with Kota Ibushi. He had some feuds with even his own Young Bucks until they reunited. Him and Cody were good, but in WWE, I don't think anything matched Gargano and Ciampa. So that was the Mailman's award-winning feud. But we'll let you finish there, Ratboy. Did you have another one?
My WWE main roster, if you like, the feud of the year. So we all know it hasn't been a particularly engaging year. Monday Night Raw has arguably gone through the worst year of its career since its inception in 1993. For me, there are two outstanding feuds, both of them from the Blue brand. One of which was... it's tough, you know. This is tough. You get to the finish line and you wonder if you've made the right decision. You know, I'm going to go for it. Feud of the year, I'm going to go for Becky Lynch against the Universe.
Against us?
Becky Lynch against the Universe. I'm sure you know in what context I mean when I say the Universe. The one it narrowly beat out was somebody who was up against not really a person, but against an ideology, which would have been Daniel Bryan versus consumerism.
Good.
But I'm going to go with Becky Lynch versus the Universe for my feud of the year.
All right. Any thoughts on what Rory would be? Probably the same thing.
I mean, NXT, it'd have to be Gargano versus Ciampa. I think even the smartest of smarts would struggle to find a legitimate reason.
All right.
The main roster, I think he would have gone something Becky Lynch. I don't know if he would have rephrased it as Becky versus Charlotte, but
they had a
I
match.
think we would have been, I dare say we would have been in the same ballpark on this one.
All right. Well, let's move on, shall we? Let's go to best pay-per-view of 2018. Best pay-per-view. I have a feeling we're going to agree on this one as well, but we will see. Once again, you didn't know NXT was eligible, but you know mine. You want me to go first?
I'll go first. We'll keep in. What number are we on here?
Oh, we've got, including this one, 4 to go. We have this one. We'll have match of the year is the main event. We have wrestler of the year,
Nice.
which can be male or female, and then whatever opposes that, it'll be the gender of that. Like, if let's say if a male is your wrestler of the year, we'll have the top female of 2018. So you're basically picking a male and female, but your overall top pick of wrestler of the year, and then match of the year is the main event.
Within regards to TakeOver, I'm sure it'll come as no surprise. If I was going to do a quick rundown again, I would have gone for number 5, not necessarily the worst because they were all tremendous, but maybe just by way for thin margins, the least strong. I think number 5, I would have gone for Brooklyn. Then I'm going to say Chicago for number 4. Number 3, War Games. Number 2, I think Philadelphia. I think the best takeover has to be New Orleans.
I agree, sir. That's my best pay-per-view of the year. Biased because we were there.
Everything from the North American ladder match where everybody got over. It was a tremendous opener. High spots, great wrestling. The women's championship match between Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler. The shocking Roderick Strong heel turn on Pete Dunne to join the Undisputed Era in the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. An excellent match between Aleister Black and Radesian Almas. The
I love
NXT
that
Championship. Not quite as good as Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano at Philadelphia.
Agree there too.
Which was easily one of the most outstanding matches you're ever likely to see, not just in NXT.
Exactly. No, I mean, Andrade Cien Almas almost got most underrated wrestler for me, but totally agree.
I think you could have got that in the past 2 years, probably not 2018.
Yeah.
And I think, of course, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. That main event was, without saying too much, it was a masterclass in storytelling, wrestling. It's what wrestling should be.
I totally agree there, sir. I'll probably just hit some quick hitters. NXT New Orleans, TakeOver New Orleans was great atmosphere. Probably one of my favorite wrestling shows I've ever been to. Top to bottom, thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the only thing bummer for me that night was I thought I was by the railing. I ended up being about 8 seats in. I still had a great view except for the cameraman. But then the best thing that happened to me that night, I don't understand these people. Great seats right in a row in front of me. I was row 3. They're row 2. For some reason, and they were close in, probably about another 4 seats. So I got a better view. They left. I snuck up, and I watched the Andrade Cien Almas and Aleister Black match and the unsanctioned Gargano versus Ciampa match in the second row. By far, the latter match was, I won't explain too much about it because I'm going to be talking about it later, but one of the most fantastic matches I'd ever seen in person. Everything about that card was electric. I know I'm biased because I was there, but NXT TakeOver New Orleans gets my best pay-per-view of 2018, and there is a lot to choose from NXT-wise. If I had to go to WWE-wise, I can't even think. I always enjoy the Rumble. I enjoyed Rumble as far as Shinsuke winning it. That was exciting.
It's a good Rumble. I think it was the best Royal Rumble pay-per-view.
Yeah. I was on the edge of my seat.
For quite some time.
It got drowned out a little bit because of the women's Rumble afterwards. And they put the men, if you recall, kind of mid-card. But, I still enjoyed the hell out of it.
That was the best Rumble match itself for quite some time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Payback was the worst pay-per-view, I think, or was it Backlash? I can't remember.
Backlash. However, my pick for the best pay-per-view of all year goes to Money in the Bank 2018.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because of Bliss. We know why. Why?
You have to give me the chance to explain why. Becky had a bit too much spring in her step, hopped up that ladder a bit too quick, so almost ruined that spot. But she won the first ever Money in the Bank women's match when the winner was declared on the night. She cashed in an hour later on Nia Jax to become a 5-time women's champion, of which she's had many successful title defenses in her day, while Sasha Banks has had 0, despite being a legitimate boss.
We'll continue that feud all year long, sir.
Say again?
We'll continue this feud about my most overrated. Well, I mean, I know the overrated thing kind of ticked you off, I think. We got a couple of viewers stumbled upon us. This is a long ass show. I wonder who stumbled upon us, but anyways,
who's better on the mic? Just out of curiosity.
What, between who?
Who's best on the mic in the women's division?
And that's a tough call because
there's only one correct answer. Don't worry.
Well, I'm going to go Becky Lynch, but...
Oh, ouch.
You talking Twitter handle?
Ouch.
I even think Carmella's been better on the shtick. I'll agree. Sasha Banks is not very good on the mic, but Charlotte Flair is all right. Alexa Bliss does a great job hosting that Moment of Bliss show. That's about all I can say. But she gets my most overrated wrestler of 2018, Ratboy. And this guy hates it so much. All right, well, let's move on. Did you finish your what you had to say about pay-per-view of the year?
I've said all I've needed to say. Thank you.
All right, we got 3 awards left. Let's go with well, this one's tough. This could be your wrestler of the year if you want to say it, but we're going to go with female wrestler of the year. This is a category for 2018. Obviously, in probably one of the biggest years for women's wrestling. They had their first WWE pay-per-view, Royal Rumble. They had their first, what was it? It wasn't the ladder match. It was the Money in the Bank, right? Was that the first time Money in the Bank this year, or was that last year? I can't even remember already.
That was last year.
Yeah, shit. First Royal Rumble. We had the first all-women's pay-per-view, first Elimination Chamber. What other firsts? TLC?
Probably.
Yeah, Asuka. But I enjoy that. I enjoy TLC this year. We back to pay-per-view. I thought it was an underrated pay-per-view. But anyways, I am going with female wrestler of the year. As this person did not get my wrestler of the year for 2018, but
yeah. So are we changing the order here? I thought I go first.
You go first, Ratboy. Go ahead. Sorry.
Right. Thank you.
We know.
The first thing I won't be done is to get that piece of crap out of my ring. Don't just get him out of the ring. Get him out of the WWF, because I prove, son, without a shadow of a doubt, he ain't got what it takes no more. You sit there, you thump your Bible, and you say your prayers, and it didn't get you anywhere. Talk about your Psalms. Talk about John 3:16. Becky 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass.
2018 MILY.
Becky Lynch takes the number 2 spot for Ratboy in 2018.
Oh.
However, number 1 goes to this woman.
Oh, party foul. Can't believe it. Or I believe it. What's it going to take? What's it going to take?
The hit maker, the history maker, the record breaker, Alexa Bliss is Ratboy's 2018 Female Superstar of the Year.
Oh, I loved your opening so much, man.
Yes.
It had potential, but you're so wrong.
That was one of Ratboy's traditional swerves.
I know Rory LeBar
agrees with me. And it worked.
But my 2018 Female Wrestler of the Year. Sorry for last year it was Asuka for me. This year it was the man. It was a slow start for her, booking wise, but the Irish last kicker picked it up. I enjoyed tremendously. That was the best. That was probably my favorite SummerSlam match for any women. Things did not turn out right for her there. I was unable to watch the all women's pay-per-view live. I was on the Jericho cruise that night, but that match with Charlotte Flair was awesome. I've enjoyed their feud. There was a couple of unfortunate happenings for her. Would have loved to seen her and Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series, but that Nia Jax mishap where she busted up the last kicker's face. I hold out hope. Becky Lynch has got to win the Royal Rumble, doesn't she? I would love to see it. I don't know.
No.
What am I thinking of? Sorry, I'm kind of behind on SmackDown. So I don't know what's going on yet. Ever since she became the man, there's an added value to her. I was always a fan of her before, but she was the white meat baby face. But Becky Lynch, by far, one of the most entertaining talents in all of WWE. And my God, it can only get better, I think. I want to see her and Rousey. And I can't wait to see. I love the way she spews on the mic. And I don't know, man. That Charlotte, I gave that Charlotte Flair Becky Lynch match some thought as far as a WWE match of the year. I'm telling you right now, that obviously is not my match of the year, but I enjoyed the hell out of that after watching it about a week later. But those two women went through some hell. And, they put one on at the Super Show as well. That one wasn't as good, I don't think. But what am I missing? I enjoyed the TLC match with her, Asuka winning the title. Did I miss anything else? She was also one of the longest entrants in the Rumble, right? She lasted a while. I don't remember what her time was, but I think it was a very good year for Becky Lynch. Last year, Asuka was my wrestler of the year. Becky Lynch gets the 2018 MILY for Women's Wrestler of the Year. She does not get my overall Wrestler of the Year, though. So that's how the mailman sees it. Ratboy, finishing thoughts?
I don't think Becky Lynch should win the Royal Rumble. Her route to WrestleMania should be winning the Elimination Chamber.
Kind of like was that what happened to Daniel Bryan? My memory's terrible. Or no?
No.
He was
Daniel Bryan got there because he beat Triple H earlier in the night, and that was our stipulation.
Right. Yeah, that's right. How could I forget that?
It will inevitably be a triple threat match. I think that's the only bad thing for Becky fans. It's not going to be a singles match with Ronda Rousey.
So, yeah. Let's move on to, I guess, if we picked women a woman wrestler not being our pro wrestler of the year. We'll pick our pro wrestler of the year now. Like I said, it could be NXT or WWE because this is what we picked on.
Just interrupt you.
Obviously,
I think the BARR's female wrestler of the year would have been Becky Lynch.
That's kind of a no-brainer. I know we probably would pick it.
Still required saying, though.
Yeah.
Still required saying.
No doubt. So, male wrestler of the year. Go ahead, Ratboy.
Yes. No, it's an interesting one. Ratboy's NXT female superstar of the year goes to the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Nice.
Stellar performance in 2018.
It was. I almost gave her I can't really count her as a rookie. Can I? I guess I could. I almost gave her a rookie. She would have been a good rookie. I wanted to put her somewhere on here. I can't call her underrated with that background. But I guess she could. But coming out from the MMA world, Shayna Baszler, phenomenal year. So go ahead, Ratboy.
What was the category we were on?
Oh, we're on male pro wrestler. Actually, it's our wrestler of the year. If you did not think Becky Lynch or any female was the wrestler of the year, because this is basically taking the male wrestler of the year, but I'm giving it as pro wrestler of the year. If you think a female deserved it, you say they were the pro wrestler of the year, but male category basically. But this is kind of like a combined category where they're the pro wrestler of the year. So if you think your women's selection was better, they're the pro wrestler.
I'm going to go for my NXT male superstar of the year. I think this was the overall best performer in NXT. Participated in no less than 2 matches, which received the coveted 5 stars from Dave Meltzer. Without further ado, my NXT Superstar of the Year is this man.
All right. Well, we got Mark Wood. Mark Wood's one of the guys watching. Welcome, Mark. He says Bliss is overrated. Laugh out loud. Titus O'Neil is the WWE pooper of the year with that trip slide under the ring. Yeah, I forgot to mention that, Ratboy, as Mark joins us. Mark, thanks for chiming in, buddy. You can put all your awards in the comments. We'll get back to you on the NXT TakeOver show, but Mark Wood, what'd you think of Titus? We need to give him an award for some. I also meant to give a honorable mention for Rookie of the Year to our guy Nicholas, tag team champion for a whole 24 hours until he had to relinquish and go back to school. So Nicholas, Rookie of the Year, asterisk for 2018. But Mark Wood, thanks for joining us. Ratboy, go ahead. I might have cut you off a little.
Interesting. Obviously, wins and losses have never been more insignificant in the WWE as a whole. I think Johnny Wrestling, his record at TakeOver reads 11 matches, 9 losses to 2 defeats. So it's a great testament to the fact that it's obviously not about the W or the L.
Yeah.
It's about the performance, and he has earned the moniker of Johnny Takeover for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, his character, I'm also save the suspense here with my pick, complete and utter, well, total agreement. Johnny Wrestling gets my Pro Wrestler of the Year. Without question, some of the most entertaining matchups of all 2018. I didn't count the unsanctioned match, but that match, just because it was unsanctioned, I know that was one of the best brawls things I ever seen. I saw that live. But the NXT TakeOver Chicago, the storytelling, like you said, it doesn't matter about his record. I loved every storyline. The fact of the matter is, and he was guilty of taking out Aleister Black. Anything this guy wasn't involved with, my attention was glued. Performer of the Year. I gave an honorable mention. This is kind of crazy and kind of wacko, but on the main roster, I would have given it to, you'll probably be shocked here, Daniel Bryan. A kudos to this guy in 2018. I'm giving him a comeback award. We didn't have this as an award, but I also wanted to give him Wrestler of the Year just because of coming back, the yes man, and now his heel gimmick is unbelievable. But the fact that Daniel Bryan was able to survive after a couple years being away and get back into things was one of the greatest things I saw this year. I was so happy when he came back. I just hope long-term he'll be healthy. I mean, obviously you're always thinking about his future from all the concussions. We lost Paige as far as a wrestler. This kind of the same thing with a neck injury. But I wanted to give Daniel Bryan an honorable mention. I've enjoyed everything. I mean, yeah, you can say maybe he hasn't been in the top echelon, I guess, as far as matches and stuff. But I loved his match with Brock Lesnar in a loss at Survivor Series. I loved the hell out of that. I loved him even teaming up with Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. That was an emotional comeback at the place he won his first WWE Championship. Maybe the Miz feud dried up a little bit there at the end when they involved the spouses, but I still enjoyed that. I'm still awaiting a Daniel Bryan Shinsuke Nakamura match, but I am so happy for Daniel Bryan. That was one of the best stories of my wrestling year. To be able to see this man come back and do what he loves. What was it? Fight for your dreams. He gets an honorable Wrestler of the Year for me. I know he was ranked in Pro Wrestling Illustrated at 91. That is a bit harsh, but if you look in here, they barely got anything as a write-up for him. 91st for Daniel Bryan. I know we include more than WWE in this, and we're only doing WWE on the show, but that's a travesty. Daniel Bryan at number 91 in here. He was one of my favorites before he got hurt, and he will be for a long time, as long as I can. I don't care if he's a heel or a babyface. I totally love what this guy's doing. So, but congratulations, Johnny Gargano. Like you said, Ratboy, so many big matches this year. Well deserved. He gets our 2018 MILY Male of the Year, and he's my Pro Wrestler of the Year. As far as we don't go outside the spectrum of WWE, but obviously you're going to give it to Kenny Omega if you're looking at all of wrestling, as far as I'm concerned. But we're just going off stuff we've been predicting all season long. But I've rambled enough. I'll give you the floor for any final words on Pro Wrestler of the Year.
It's main roster. Didn't really feel like a difficult choice this year for standout performer of the year. I think this man is easily the standout performer of Monday Night Raw. His performance in the Gauntlet match on the Go Home show, the Elimination Chamber, was a particularly favorite of mine. I I think he's undoubtedly probably the most naturally gifted, maybe since Shawn Michaels. Main roster, superstar of the year goes to this man.
Well deserved. I can't complain there. Had a great performance at WrestleMania 30. I love that Intercontinental match at WrestleMania 34. I can't remember. Did I pick
the match at 34? His match with The Miz at Backlash.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a very good match. People forget about that one.
Yeah, his performance in the Elimination Chamber,
outstanding.
Amongst other things, even the great matches he had with Dean Ambrose against the BARR as the tag team. Again, I didn't feel as if it was a particularly difficult choice, but my main roster guy of the year is Seth Rollins.
Attaboy. What do you think Rory BARR would think?
I think Seth would have been in his top 3.
Yeah, he was definitely in my top 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think Rory would have gone with. I think he will have been considering Seth. You have to consider AJ. He's that good. I think Daniel Bryan, would have been up there.
You know who I also thought of underrated? I can't believe I'm saying this. I know we're going back. I went too far, but Samoa Joe, this guy doesn't get enough respect, but I just wanted to throw that asterisk in there.
Samoa Joey.
I just think he needs to be treated better. I mean, we're talking, I guess when we're talking underrated, how WWE booked him, but we know he's good.
And we move on to
our main event
of the year.
Mark Wood chimed in. He said handshake of the year goes to Randy Orton. So,
yeah.
Bump. All right, our main event, guys. Match of the year. This is always a tough, controversial. You know, it's up to what you think. There's so many matches that you might forget about, but one stood out for me, and it was at the beginning of the year. Ratboy, you're looking tired. We will save the NXT Awards for NXT Prediction Show. How do you think that? What do you think of that?
I've given mine.
Oh no, the actual NXT Awards on WWE.com. We didn't go through them all.
Oh, I see.
But we've gone long.
When is the Rumble show?
Well, our next week from tomorrow, on Friday, January 25th. I'm going to plug right now. The Royal Rumble pool, guys, is open for business here from the small package. $5 entry fee for both the men's and women's, so $10 total if you want it on both. There's 30 spots. I've already got only about 8 or 9 spots filled in. We just opened the contest. Deadline to enter will be the next time we see you. We need to get you can pay me through PayPal at jamesmilstead12@hotmail.com. Or you can send the check through the old-fashioned mail and message me to get that address. I don't want to put my address out here on the YouTube show, but the Royal Rumble pool, been a success. April Serafini, the former pro wrestler from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, has won this thing twice in a year. She had one with Randy Orton at number 23 2 years ago when we first started it. And then Shinsuke Nakamura last year at number 14. And then Nick Bazzelli, her boyfriend, former pro wrestler, and host of the Nick and Brian show there in Pittsburgh. He won the women's pool with Asuka last year. I can't remember what number she was, 25 or something. So we give away a couple of T-shirts for the second to last person eliminated, and we give your money back if you're the Iron Man match, or if you're the Iron Man, if you select the Iron person who is in the Rumble the longest. Yeah, they have to survive the longest. So a couple of incentives to join the 3rd annual Milstead Royal Rumble pool. It's open for business. Hit me up here in the comments if you would like to join. Deadline to enter this contest a week from tomorrow at our NXT prediction show, episode 39. I will draw the numbers on our Royal Rumble Spectacular show on Sunday, on Royal Rumble Sunday. You will find out. And if you want to join, I put you in a private Facebook group where we're all at. You will know your numbers before the show starts, and you have the ability to win $150. Well, of course, you're winning your $5 back. So what is that? $145 if you win the men's or women's, or if you win both, you win all that money. So hit me up. It's the 3rd annual Milstead Royal Rumble pool. A lot of people are interested, so spots are going to go fast. I advertised it late, but this time next week it should be all filled. So excited for that. Back to the match of the year, our main event, and like I said, Ratboy, next week we'll go over the NXT award. We'll get our guy Mark Wood on here as well. Hopefully he'll be able to join us. But we better wrap this show up. We've almost gone 3 hours with this bitch. So
you do realize that at this rate, the Rumble show is going to go on for about 6 hours.
I know. That's why I didn't want to do all this shit in one. But the 2018 Millies conclude here with our match of the year selection, guys. Ratboy, start us off. Your favorite match of 2018. There's a lot to choose from.
From the underground, if I can quickly list my top 3 NXT matches of the year.
Oh, you got a top 3. I did not prepare for top 3.
Number 3 will be the ladder match to name the inaugural North American champion at New Orleans.
Yes.
Pitting Lars Sullivan, Killian Dane, Velveteen Dream, Ricochet, EC3, and Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole, baby!
Number 2.
Do you think I'm cute? Do you think I'm funny?
By the thinnest of thin margins. Number 2. It's tough. I've gone back and forth with this so much, it's unbelievable.
1,
Number
2, 3.
Number 2. I can't say I appreciate the interruptions.
Oh, my bad.
Number two is Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas from TakeOver Philadelphia, which inevitably leaves the unsanctioned match at TakeOver New Orleans, the main event between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, is my NXT match of the year.
Beautiful.
From the main roster, in a similar vein, this was tough, but the main roster, number 3 is going to be the gauntlet match on the go-home edition of Monday Night Raw before the Elimination Chamber, which lasted in an excess of 2 hours.
That was a good match.
Number 2 is recent. Number 2 is Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar from Survivor Series.
Enjoyed that.
However, for me, the main roster main event of the year, match of the year, although it wasn't main event, it should in, was for the Women's Championship, and it was Charlotte Flair going up against the champion Becky Lynch at Evolution in the TLC match. Becky Lynch versus my main event match of the year, main roster, is Becky Lynch versus Charlotte from Evolution TLC for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
All right. Well, I will finish it off. Drum roll, please. It was hard to choose an overall match of the year. I went both. My runner-up was the NXT North American title match, being there live. That was one of the best matches I'd ever seen in my life. There at the NXT TakeOver New Orleans. But I ended up going at the beginning of the year, about a year ago, here as we descend upon NXT Phoenix. My match of the year, Johnny Gargano taking on Cien Almas. A 32-minute classic. My wrestler of the year, Johnny Wrestling. Cien Almas, a totally underrated talent. I wish I could bring up the notes I got from that match. I have to go rewatch it. I didn't before the show. I wanted to rewatch it to refresh myself. It was tough to even when that thing. It was 32 minutes 19 seconds from what I see here. It was just a singles match. Cien Almas. This is when he was the champion. Johnny, I think, had to win, right? Or he'd be done with NXT. And this thing was such an awesome, thrilling matchup. You had Candice LeRae help him out at the end. They had the logo come up again, and then we see an injured Tommaso Ciampa come back out. It was just such a great storytelling match between Johnny Wrestling and Cien Almas. I'm trying to think of some notes here. There was a slingshot DDT in this match on Almas onto that ring apron. That was for a near fall. Gargano performed some super kicks on Almas for a near fall. There were so many near falls. Almas performed a double knee smash, that patented thing into the corner on Gargano as he was seated. Gargano applied a Gargano no escape, but Almas escaped while that referee was distracted. Vega attacked Gargano with a Hurricane Rana off the ring apron in that match onto the steel steps. Almost performed a hammerlock DDT on Gargano for a near fall. Candice LeRae came out to even the score. She was seated in the front row that night. If you recall, this was before she actually started on the roster, NXT roster. She got even with Vega and chased Vega out of the arena. So it was some great storytelling. Gargano performed another slingshot DDT on Almas for a near fall. I thought Gargano was going to win this. Gargano applied the Gargano no escape, but Almas placed his foot on the bottom rope. Almas performed a double knee smash on Gargano, who was seated against the ring post. And then he performed an elevated hammerlock DDT on Gargano to retain the title. After the match, obviously, Gargano and LeRae left, but Tommaso Ciampa comes out with the crutch and ended that match. It was just one of my most memorable matchups of the year, even though I wasn't at that one live. But that set in place what the rivalry would be like. Our feud of the year, as mentioned earlier. I started off the year in 2017 with Omega and Okada at the Tokyo Dome, but we don't really talk about NJPW on this show due to just theme sticking. We're a WWE type prediction show. But this has been fun, Ratboy. I know you're tired. I'm tired. Mark Wood chimed in at the end here. Did he have anything else to say on the comments? Mark Wood, the Holy Shit Award goes to Kevin Owens for taking that pooper blue stuff on the ride over the edge by Braun. That is hilarious, Mark. I really wish we had Mark Wood on this show tonight, but we'll see what Mark Wood thinks of these categories. So congratulations, match of the year. My runner-up was the North American ladder match, NXT New Orleans. Ratboy, final words before we let you fricking get to bed. He's sleeping, guys. Well, I'll let him sleep. Before I run the music, I'm going to unbox the Slam crate I got. I might as well, as Mean Gene kind of took a fall there. Like I said, next week, we'll come up with a time. It'll probably be about 6 o'clock on the West Coast. That's 9 Eastern for our NXT TakeOver Phoenix prediction show. That'll be episode 39. And then episode 40, I'll have a special guest as well. It's either rumored to be the man, Becky Lynch, or Daniel Bryan. the new Daniel Bryan, fickle, impotent. Change it. We'll see if which one shows up. But the latest Slam Crate game, probably about 2 weeks ago to my house. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you can turn it off now. But I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to have Slam Crate because the shirts are okay, but we'll take a look at the shirt. I'm not sure what this theme is, but it's High Flyers. WWE High Flyers is a pretty okay shirt, I guess. It looks like to be Rey Mysterio flying high through the sky. So there's your shirt for the month. This month's figure is AJ Styles, the face that runs the place. He is this month's figure. What the hell is this thing? We have a Kofi mug. It's always cool to get a coffee mug, right? This is kind of a different mug. Instead of a traditional handle mug, it is a Kofi cup. It comes with looks like the hot, prevent you from burning yourself, the hot ring thing there. Yeah. It is what it is, guys. It's got pancakes and stuff on it. So it ain't booty. It's quality mug. I think my wife will enjoy using that. And then what else do we get? What the hell is this? Oh, shit. It's the Velveteen Dream. He didn't win any awards this year for us. It's a Velveteen Dream sleep mask, guys. Check that out. That's probably my favorite item. Hit it. And then, a WWE Cruiserweight Championship pin. I've been waiting for that. That's my favorite item, the title pin. And then you get, got a sticker. It looks like 2 stickers. I don't know what else we got in here. I'll spare you. It looks like a Rey Mysterio sticker on the inside. I just too lazy to open it right now. Oh, it looks like you're gonna get a Jericho figure next crate. So, there's the the Rey Mysterio sticker. You also get a Jeff Hardy sticker. So interesting crate. The theme is High Flyers, and the poster is AJ Styles when he's flying through the air, stuck to the Money in the briefcase. That's easy enough to say. Hang in there is the poster. So, and then the interview. No interview in this crate is all they say. They do with Cedric Alexander. Looks like Cedric Alexander is the High Flyer. So I'm gonna use this Velveteen Dream mask tonight because this show probably put all y'all to sleep. But my thanks to the Ratboy. He's in Dreamland. That wraps it up. Our 2018 MILY Awards are in the books. I thank you guys for joining us here on episode 38, the 2018 MILYs. Thanks for joining us. I'm coming for you, Rory BARR. I'm 1 match behind. Our NXT predictions are next week, a week from tomorrow. Showtime, 6 o'clock on the West Coast, 9 o'clock. Join us live with your NXT TakeOver Phoenix predictions. And then a Royal Rumble. Join my contest. Hit me up in the comments if you want to join. A lot of you guys already know me and are already going to be in it. It's $5 for both the men and women. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a happening. I'm the mailman, Jimmy Milstead. Episode 38, the MILY Awards, has been fun. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk to you next time. The mailman out. Enjoy the Royal Rumble.